So hi, this is Animal Justice Emergency coming to you from lockdown. So today I'm going to tell you something really exciting and really helpful to up your activism game. And this is a simple process that a lot of us, it's going to really change and completely transform the way that you do your activism. You can still do the same kind of activism, but with these few little tweaks, this extra process, you will discover how to reach far, far more people than you do with your normal activism game. And also, you'll understand that by not using this process, I'm not selling anything, by not using this process, you are actually missing out on tons and tons and tons of influence and creating change in the real world. And this process can be used for either existing kinds of activism like cubes or saves, or anything that you're doing, you know, just simple outreach or marches, anything that you choose to do. It can be used for that, or it can be used for some sort of like one-off thing or something that you do on a repeated basis. What I'm going to be going with today is stickering, because a friend of mine was very excited. We had a conversation and then they said, oh, I'm going to get a load of stickers, 10,000, it's a lot of stickers. Done. 10,000 stickers is worth doing. It's a strategic approach. We're talking about a strategic approach to activism. With the strategic approach, the first thing that we need to decide is what is the outcome that we want to achieve. Now, we might be saying something like, well, get as many stickers in front of as many eyeballs as possible. We might say, well, we want to raise awareness, we want to educate people. Well, we could be more specific, because specific really works in terms of strategic objectives, and we could say to create a clear link in the public mind between animal agriculture and pandemics like COVID-19. A clear link, raise a question. Is animal agriculture linked with COVID-19 and other pandemics that may have happened in the past and potentially in the future? That is the kind of framing that we want, because it's less vague. Now, as I said, we could just go out and sticker everywhere, and well, yes, but that's so random, isn't it? It's very random. But by using this strategic approach, we have far greater impact, because people see. The thing is with a strategic approach is they won't just see the stickers. If they see something in the local media, over a period of time, more stories come out about this sort of like linkage. It starts to go in. It's like when people when like corporations use advertisements. It's about repetition, repetition, repetition. Seeing it on social media, seeing it maybe in your local newspaper, seeing it somewhere else, seeing it on stickers. And it starts to sort of like percolate into your notion of reality. Oh, I saw a sticker about it. Oh, I saw that in the local. People maybe don't even know. But it starts to get some authority. It starts to get some traction. And that's what we're talking about, getting some traction. How do we do this? We've got three key elements. The first thing is to contact people that you think might be interested and have some sort of like authority or say, like your local MP, your local councillor, your local mayor, maybe people who are working in NGOs, food people, supermarkets. It depends how much time and energy you want to put into this aspect. Email them, if you can be bothered, phone them up to you. Initial contacts, don't expect a lot, and say something like this: are you aware of the link between animal agriculture and viral pandemics like COVID-19? We are concerned about the lack of information in the media and available to the public about this issue, and as concerned citizens, we would like to know your views on this vital issue. We are calling for a moratorium on using animals in animal agriculture for a year in order to halt or prevent future pandemics. We would love to hear your views on this, signed whatever, and you include in that email, or however you contact them, something like a really well researched and well sourced video like Mick the Vegan and or Dr. Gregor, and I'll have those links in the thing below. So again, the thing is, we're not necessarily expecting even reply on the first sort of like foray into the world of contacting other people. Second one is contact your local media. Now, and this again can be on Facebook, it can be sending them an email, and again, you may not get anything from them the first few times, but hopefully after some time it will work. So the thing with the local media or any kind of media is they are gagging for content, believe it or not. And the thing is with media, to try and frame your message in the way that they see as like, wow, it's content that I can understand as a journalist, I can see it's relevant for my local readership, bang it in there, less work for me, job done, thanks very much mate, we'll use you again. That's how it works basically. So we would use a different kind of presentation, different kind, like a press release really, and it would be headlining initially what we wanted. So it'd be saying something like, local vegans are calling for a 1-year moratorium shutdown of the animal agriculture industry as a means of combating the deadly coronavirus epidemic. Animal slaughterhouses in the US have become viral hotspots and are being shut down because of high rates of worker infection. Vast numbers of animals are crammed together in gigantic sheds, standing in their own feces, inhaling ammonia fumes. Their immune systems are compromised, they're under massive amounts of stress, they have lowered immunity, and this is a perfect breeding ground for bacteria and viruses. Swine flu to MERS, to close proximity of the animals and the human animals, is a gigantic opportunity for viruses and bacteria to mutate and pass to another species, e.g. humans. COVID-19, although it was associated with bats and pangolins, informed sources suggest that because of the pressures on biodiversity, because of animal agriculture, there is a linkage there. So the linkage is always the close proximity. The bats will be farmed as well. So it's that same sort of thing, you know, in close proximity. Not just wild flapping bats. They're bats that used to be wild and flapping are now farmed and stuffed in tiny cages. People need to understand the risk that they are running by consuming any animal products. Slaughterhouses are hotspots of potential transmission of this deadly and untreatable viruses. So local public-spirited vegans in our area are stickering various locations to alert members of the public to this potential threat, or something like that. You really want to keep it as short as possible. Again, you could include the Mick the Vegan and the Dr. Gregor sort of like references because they are really good. And off you go. So again, it's like you won't necessarily get a response, but you have to make it like as much local interest as you can. You know, this area is the first in the UK, 10,000 stickers UK wide, whatever. The third and final element is the sticker element. So with the stickers, what I found is that, you know, there are places and places where you can do stickering. And really one of the things, it's like an advert really, particularly with something like this where it's not just the stickering, but you're trying to get a larger, sort of more coherent kind of impact. You don't want it to be just sort of like random, do you? Where will people see them? Now we're constrained obviously because we only have our sort of like our walks, our exercise, our shopping, but maybe, you know, some sort of park or recreational area that we're in, maybe sort of like places that have got children's swings or activities. Maybe, you know, when we go to our supermarkets, we'll know those places. This is the thing of having the three-pronged approach. So you've got the stickering, you've contact your MPs or your Tesco's, and you've got the media. So you can, after the stickering, you can think about going back to perhaps the media and saying, oh right, well, we didn't get anybody from major supermarkets, but our local so-and-so said, well done you, or whatever. Make it into a bit more of a story so it can run and run. It's about building relationships. It's really important to build relationships with your media people because, you know, they are a conduit to the public. But obviously then there's also the social media aspect. So that's the fourth element, in fact, of this kind of strategic approach, is that once you've done it, obviously you're going to be taking some photos and then sharing on social media. It gets an even wider exposure, and putting those messages out, having a consistent framing of the kind of words that we're using. I hope that this has been helpful, that you've found that you're finding that this is a way that has given you some inspiration about more effective and more impactful activism. You know, we've got tons of time now sitting around in our homes, you know, talking to the cats or whoever, and thinking, well, I'd like to do some more. That's what I was thinking this morning. I'd like to be doing a bit more, you know, get up, do something. So this is a way, guaranteed. You may think initially that it's not necessarily sort of making a huge amount of difference. It may seem a bit like, you know, but it will build, guaranteed. It will build, and then you'll find yourself being contacted by people and being able to speak about the war on animals and explain the position and have more impact and to create real world change. So that's what it's all about. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. Stay safe. This is Animal Justice Emergency. Together we can stop the war on animals.